Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. It's time now for the High School Notebook, and that means it is time for Matt Trabold to join us. Matt, thanks once again for hopping on board.
Thanks for having me on.
Hey, let's talk about some Section 5 products making some noise possibly on the ice professionally.
With the NHL and American Hockey League season slated to start on January 13th and February 5th, respectively, NHL training camps are in the thick of it right now. Recent Penn State star and Fairport native Nate Sucese found his name on the Arizona Coyotes 44-man training camp roster, one of 24 forwards on it, alongside names like Phil Kessel and Johan Larsson. After leading the Big Ten champion Nittany Lions last season in both points and assists, Sucese signed a one-year entry-level deal. I think we talked about on the show last season. He signed that deal with the Coyotes back on March 20th. He is also the all-time leader in career points and goals for the Penn State program. Additionally, in Rochester-related 2021 NHL news, especially when it comes to former Section 5 puck players, it was not a surprise to see former McQuaid State champion Jack Dugan listed on the recently released Vegas Golden Knights training camp roster after he signed a 2-year contract with the team in mid-July. Before that, the Knights picked him in the 5th round of the 2017 NHL draft. The now former Providence Friar led the whole NCAA in scoring a season ago with 52 big points. I'm sure Rochester hockey fans would love seeing both make the top club this year. Good luck to both of those guys.
All right, yeah, fantastic. All right, moving out from hockey to the hardwoods, let's talk a little bit. Let's talk some basketball. Let's talk some women's basketball especially.
Former Penfield girls basketball star Michaela Wilson is now a junior for the D1 Women's Hoops program at Lafayette. She started every game she played in 2 years ago as a freshman, including a pair of double-doubles for the 6-foot wing player there. Last year, she was only able to play in 7 games, unfortunately, due to injury, but she is back in a major way this time around, including in that starting 5 for the Leopards. Those Leopards, they had their first 2 games of the season last weekend. For this very unorthodox COVID-19 season, everybody's playing it, but especially the Patriot League. They're doing things a little bit differently in that conference, dividing the conference into 3 regional mini-conferences. Those 2 opening games were against rival Lehigh. In the season opener, Wilson had a solid showing of an efficient 8 points, 3 of 5 shooting there, 7 rebounds, and a block. Her success is just another example of the outstanding history of Mark Vogt's program at Penfield. Those Patriots, especially players going to Division I ranks. Emma Guy is playing professionally right now overseas for Sporting Athens after being first-team All-ACC for Boston College last season. Bailey Teal is a freshman at Fordham, a more recent player in that program coming out of it. Allie Fitzgerald was a Seton Hall commit a couple years ago. Just before that was eventual MAAC Rookie of the Year for Sienna Margot Hetzke. I remember hearing stories from coworkers and plenty of people around about Hetzke and Penfield holding Brianna Stewart, I believe in 2012, to just 13 points in the state final, eventually lost. But she played well in that game against obviously a huge name in the game in Brianna Stewart. I will end this topic by saying Michaela Wilson, one to watch for this season in the Patriot League.
All right, let's go from the women's game to the men's game. Let's talk about a little more hoops.
In the NBA bubble portion of last season, a case can be made that former Bishop Kearney student-athlete Thomas Bryant was one of the top 10, top 15 best performers in that bubble with the numbers he put up for the Washington Wizards so far this season in year 3 with those Wizards. Thomas has been riding well off that bubble momentum for a head-turning start to the season that has NBA media and NBA fans across the country wondering how high success this year might just be. A 3-game stretch for him among the action for that team in the past week and a half have many especially talking. In those ball games, one each versus Chicago, Minnesota, and the Brooklyn Nets, a big team, especially with that last one there, that last opponent. Tom's exploded for a combined 67 points, only missed 4 of his 30 shots in that stretch, including 5 for 6 shooting from 3. And hey, this is a big man we're talking about here, a man in the middle, a center. He also had 24 rebounds. Fred Katz from The Athletic had a great stat. The only other 3 NBA guys to shoot 87% on 30 or more shots in a 3-game stretch over the past 30 years of the NBA. Dwight Howard, DeAndre Jordan, Clint Capella. Good company there for Thomas. NBA Analytics also have Thomas second in the NBA so far this season in offensive efficiency among players that log enough minutes to qualify. He is only behind Michael Porter Jr. from the Nuggets. Thomas is having a big one. Let's hope he can get to that level, and he's rising there right now. He's well on his way to maybe be an all-star this year.
That would be fantastic stuff. And as far as efficiency, Matt, you're number 1 on my list as always, bud.
Thank you very much.
All right, have a good one, bud. We'll see you next week, all right?
Thanks for having me on.
All right, we're back with more of the High School Sports Beat right after this.